Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread!
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread!
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man.
Detroit Koolaid drinkers. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Eric Oakley, right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast, talking about those lines. Let me fill up your glass real quick.
Drink it in, man.
Side of cornbread.
Cornbread!
Gotta make it a double.
Cornbread!
And I'm fired up on this show because this was one of the better wins that the Lions just got in San Francisco. No, it wasn't the big showdown we all kind of expected or hoped, but this was a fun football game. It was very rewarding. In case you didn't know, the Detroit Lions are 14-2. This is the best team that any of us have ever seen, unless you're like 85 or above years old. And even then, you're still loving what you're seeing week in, week out. I've got so much to talk about. I've got no notes, no stats. I'm just going to straight go off the cuff, give you content, try to entertain you, talk about this football team. We're going to do the review of 49ers. We're going to talk about, by the time you're hearing this, it'll be 2025, probably New Year's Day, maybe the day after. Lots of football, everybody getting another day away from the crazy work life and busyness. So hope you enjoyed this one. We're just going to roll with it, and I'm going to leave some time at the end of the show for this Minnesota preview, Ford Field, everything on the line, all the marbles, number one seed, NFC North, coach of the year, coming to our house, just bring it. I cannot wait to get into that football game, so we'll get you hyped at the end. And I've been told there's a choppy segment. I don't know if it's a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know what it is. He said he sent it in. Of course, I didn't take the time to listen to it. I'm sure it's a bunch of golf love, maybe some bula bula, maybe some stats, maybe a couple woo-wees, maybe a couple hashtag choppy likeys. I mean, you guys know what he does.
Woo! Hashtag choppy liking.
So we may clip that in. If it's not good, or if it doesn't sound, or if I don't take the time, maybe it won't be in the final cut. I don't. We'll see what happens. But before I get into this review of 49ers and everything that went down there, let me get a rant off my chest here right off the top. Is it just me, or who else was upset with every local Detroit sports radio host that said the same garbage heading into this 49ers game? Oh, there's nothing to play for. But what if we get injuries? What if this happens? What if that happens? Maybe this. Shut the hell up. I was getting so sick of hearing this. These freaking losers, I swear, they come on, they want to tell, like, can anybody have a take that's halfway interesting on sports talk radio? You get paid to do that. I don't know why most of these guys get paid. Again, I can come on here and just pat everybody on the back and say how wonderful you are, and but I'm never going to see these people. I'm never going to be in the industry, but I love getting on this mic and saying what I feel and meaning what I say. And I swear, these guys come on, they have no good takes. They're worried about everything. They ride the fence all freaking day. They want to think about everything bad that could happen, might happen. What if? How about this? I'm the smartest guy in the room. I'll wait till the game's over and then tell you what I would have and should have done, but I wouldn't have because I'm not smart enough, but I'll tell you afterwards. Like, and you guys know who I'm talking about, man. First thing I had to hear in the morning was Stoney back on the radio. Didn't this guy retire? Like, why is he still on every other day? I'm sure he had his day back with Stoney and Wojo way before I listened to Sports Talk. Great. You had your day in the sun. You were actually maybe halfway entertaining back then. Now you're just this old dude that comes on and just has bad jokes and terrible takes and negativity most of the time. I don't want to hear it anymore. I mean, I swear, he's one of these guys that tells you to sit everybody. The game doesn't matter. I need to do this. This is what everybody should do. He doesn't realize that Dan freaking Campbell isn't going to just lay down and roll around and wave a white flag like this guy will.
And I don't give a crap.
Dan Campbell doesn't give a crap what you think, Stoney, and we don't want to hear you for 4 hours tell us about why you should just not play football, why these pros should just lay down and lose, why you should put everybody in bubble wrap and wait until next week and then all of a sudden show up and win a football game. Gosh, so ridiculous. So I know everyone, they love him. Oh, he's this funny guy. Oh, he's cool. He comes in, he helps out all the shows. I'm sick of it. Get me people that are entertaining, have aggressive opinions, and have enough knowledge, like Costa halfway did on that show, to be like, hey, have you guys watched the Detroit Lions? They're not going to not show up. They're not going to sit their stars. They're not going to lose because you says this game doesn't mean anything. It means something to Dan Campbell. It means something to Amon Ra. It means something to Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, all the other leaders on our football team. So at least he had the chutzpah and the onions to be like, would you just shut up with this? Because this team, you already know what they're going to do. They're built different. And they're going to show you. And it's not just Stoney. Then at the 10 o'clock hour, I got to hear Gator mumble on and on about, the same thing and the same worries and the same what ifs and the same maybes and the halfway opinions. And it was just terrible. And then don't even get me started on the 2 o'clock plus hour where you got to hear Rico Beard come on with his pompous, arrogant takes, this doesn't mean anything. Oh, they're going to just blow out my 49ers. This won't be a game. And he talks like this. And he has this way of talking that just makes me want to break my radio or throw my phone into the ocean. This guy came on for 4-hour show. Plus he's on the Lions pregame, even though he hates the Lions. And just told you how they were going to win and how this was going to happen and how his team was no good and and then this was the same guy. I had to put this out on the Twitterverse. You guys can find me at Derek Oakery. Same guy that came out and when his team actually showed up to play, which the 49ers did show up to play in this game, he started getting all happy and sassy and start talking noise, thinking, oh, we're going to beat the Lions. Now I'll really have some content to actually talk about on the radio that nobody wants to hear. And then what did his team do? Just like I tweeted out, they're playing like it's their Super Bowl, and you know what the 49ers do in Super Bowls. They lose again, and that's what they'll do, and that's exactly what they did. So I'll get to that recap, but nobody wants to hear the Stonies, the Gators, the Ricos, the Mike Valentes. Nobody wants to hear this Dan Campbell and me. We don't give a crap.
And I don't give a crap.
All right?
All right.
Exactly. So there's my rant of all these people that think they're the smartest man in the room, think they're using great logic, think they're going to throw out some stats, they're going to tell you what the analytics says, they're going to give you the percentage chance that a guy might get injured or that we might tie or that this might happen. How about the percentage chance that this team is the best football team we've seen in our lifetime? Dan freaking Campbell isn't scared of anything. He doesn't lay down for anybody, and he's going to go out there with half his guys injured on another road game against the team that beat him last year with quote-unquote nothing on the line. He's going to show up and do exactly what he did, which was play football, have his guys ready, have them motivated, out-scheme, out-think you, and win. That's what he does. So, I mean, again, I could go on and on about these people, but I try not to always come on, name them off, go on Twitter and just beat them down, but sometimes I can't help myself because nobody that lives in Detroit and loves the Detroit Lions wants to call up and from 6 in the morning until 6 at night wants to hear our local guys talk bad or Eeyore or ho-hum or negativity or what if or maybe about our team who's 14-2, who was 13-2 at the time, who's gonna win the division and is gonna be the number 1 seed and is probably gonna go to the Super Bowl multiple years here, both this year and moving forward. So get us some guys that actually, I don't know, love our teams, that actually are positive, that actually can have a take that doesn't suck and can actually motivate this fan base like we try to do on this show, rather than just bore you to death, give you terrible opinions, and then when those opinions are wrong, flip the opinions the next week and say I told you so.
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread.
All right, I'm off that. Everybody, let's do this quick 49ers review. We'll do a gimmick style like we like to do. We'll also give you some of the key players, how they balled out. And then I want to get on to 2024, what we saw, 2025, what we can expect. But spend the majority of the back half on the Minnesota Vikings coming to Ford Field with everything on the line. So when this game with 49ers got going, I was excited about it, but I also was kind of trepidatious, but this was a fun football game, man. Right from the start, the 49ers with a huge drive, 11 plays, 61 down the field. Ricky Pearsall finally showed up. I have him in a few fantasy leagues. He really didn't do much all year, but he looks like he's coming into his own. 7-0 49ers. But then, we go right back down the field. 9 for 65, took about 5 minutes off the clock, and what a beautiful play by Ben Genius. This was absolutely incredible. Ben Genius, we love you on this show, bro.
Ben Johnson, I love you. Ben Johnson, you are my hero.
He does like a double okey doke, triple yoke, whoopsie-doo, Schnavitz reverse, where J-Mo comes in motion, goes back in motion, comes around the back door. They hand it to him backside, and he just high step into the end zone. Nobody even close to him, and even if you were, it doesn't matter because he's hashtag J-Mo fast. You guys know what it is. He had those wheels rolling, touchdown, 7-6. My boy Jake Bates missed the field goal. I'll get to Bates later. He came through big. I'm still waiting on it's got to be at least a double apology now by the great Natalie Sparbeck. I don't know why she won't just come on Twitter and say I was wrong, this guy's good. She just ignores the tweets where we ask her to apologize to the man who she tried to cut in late July and said was a horrible kicker. I don't know why she's avoiding that, but she is. But still love Natalie Sparbeck, great person, good content on the old Twitter sphere. San Francisco again, like I said, they came out to play, man. They come back down the field again. Somehow Kyle Juszczyk found his way into the end zone, a 9-yard catch. But then the Lions just uncork another one, man. The old hook and J-Mo, the old little square in, 2-yard square into Amon Ra. Lost my voice there. Amon Ra. Very majestic. 2-yard just slant to him, and then sure enough, the hook just laterals it back to this time instead of Gibbs or Laporta, whoever else we've been flipping the ball to. This time it's hashtag JMO fast, and he does absolutely that into the end zone. The minute he turned the corner, as he said, he bent the corner, saw the safety took the bad angle. That's good night, nurse. That's curtains. That's game over. He just flies into the end zone. Hit the Neon Dion dance. My favorite dance back in the day. We used to play street ball, our street versus your street in football on the cement back in the day. If I got a pick, and especially if I took it to the house, I'm breaking out that Dion dance in the end zone with my do-rag on. There's no doubt about it. Back in the day, that was my guy. You know what I mean? Sure enough, 49ers again come down, and Brock Purdy gets like a 9-yard scamper into the end zone. I swear he looked like he won the Super Bowl. He's jumping all around like he's a 6-year-old child. My buddy Wagner hit me up, and he's like, what's a good word to describe Brock Purdy? And I'm like, dweeb. Freaking dweeb. This guy, I think Wagner called him a tween, which is probably because he looks like he's about, I don't know, like 13, and he looks like he just came from the library, and I don't know how he's even good. And are you gonna pay that man $50 million? I don't know that I'd be doing that, but the 49ers probably will because they're desperate and they have no other options or choices. But this guy was like going crazy. Like he just won the Super Bowl, or he just hit the lotto, or I don't know what he was doing. He just was way too hyped up for a little 9-yard scamper in the end zone. But you know what I mean? We get to the half. Okay, 21-13. Congratulations. Like, you go ahead, you've got a little bit of a lead on us. Wow, you're up 8 points. Congratulations. We missed one extra point, and we probably had one less possession. But third quarter, I mean, we come right out. We just put a drive together, and then sure enough, fourth down again, I believe it was, by Dan freaking Campbell, just absolutely stones of steel, just going for it, does not care, and Jared Goff just dots up Laporta, for all the Laporta supporters, all the Salmon Biscuits fans out there. 6-yard touchdown, absolutely love seeing that. This was a game where freaking Deebo Samuel actually like showed up like he was a football player again. I don't know what it was. Like right off the kick, he actually got some yards. He's actually in the backfield running the football. This is the same diva that made his name by running the football, and then when he got paid, and then he never wanted to run the football anymore. It was like, the only reason you're good is because you run the football, or we throw you bubbles and you actually get yards because you're hard to tackle. You're not a stud outside wide receiver. So he actually showed up. Got a little 5-yard touchdown here from the dweeb Brock Purdy. 28-21, back and forth. Loving everything I'm seeing. Lions put a drive together, come up a little bit short, but sure enough, Jake Bates makes it look easy from 57 yards out. My boy Jake Bates, apologize, Natalie Sparback, ASAP, would you please? Sure enough, I mean, and I'm missing, I don't have it in chronological, but can we shout out my boy Kerbo? He's just playing center field all game long. I mean, 2 INTs in this game, made them both look easy. I think he had a third one that got called back on some bula penalty. Like, this guy he's sniffing out plays before they happen. He jumps the football. He does not drop the football. He will also just send you in the front row if you mess with his rookie Terry on, because they got a little scuffle and Curb just went and dropped him off with the wine and cheese crowd in the front row. That was freaking tremendous early in this football game. But Kerbo getting those turnovers and just being the absolute ball hawk, swagalicious player that he is was just absolutely tremendous to see on so many levels. But sure enough, I mean, the Lions come back down, and what do? A 4-yard TD pass to ARSB. And this was just straight up butter. I don't know if this was fourth down. I can't remember. I don't have it in front of me, but just absolutely just dotted him up. Perfect little route. Saint just always where he needs to be, always doing the right thing. And then what about the St. Brown celebrate? There were so many good sellies in this game, but what about St. Brown? Amon-Ra taking off his belt and whooping that tail. And I didn't know till after the game that he basically did that because Fred Warner, who's a stud and a hell of a player, but shot his mouth off during pregame warm-ups in his little huddle with his wimps, I mean his team, where he was like, oh, what you gonna do? You come out here and bring everything so we can whoop that ass? Yeah, and so St. Brown got word of that, and he said, I'm gonna score a touchdown, I'm gonna take my belt, and I'm gonna whoop that tail of yours. And they were just going to the camera, and what was he saying? I told you, just like Pops used to do back in the day when you would not do what he told you or showed up late off curfew. That was incredible. The Lions are just so tremendous celebration. So anyway, 31-28. Now we got the lead. Now look out. We get the football back. I don't see any touchdowns, any points coming from San Francisco. 42-yard easy down the middle field goal for Mr. Bates. Then we get a 30-yard scamper, just absolutely outflanked their defense and just went to the house. You want to know why? Wait for it. It was the multi-dimensional, positionless, elite weapon, Jahmyr Gibbs. 30 yards to the house. You can't touch this guy with his speed. Absolutely elite. And 40-28, another 40 burger by the Lions. The 49ers get some cheap touchdown with no time left when we put their little quarterback out because, oh, he hurt his elbow again. Oh, I can't feel my elbow. And Josh Dobbs came in and threw a couple open passes and scored a meaningless touchdown to make it 40-34. I'm sure that was a bad beat for many people out there on the old betting spectrum, but I didn't care. This was a beatdown. This was a fun football game. Great win by the Lions. Fun game. Don't care what it meant or didn't meant. Nobody got hurt. We didn't play scared. There was a lot of hard hitting in this game. A lot of people bringing the lumber like Jack Campbell. Reward was not scared. Was absolutely doing his thing. I love to see it. I love the hitting. I love the physicality. Our team balled out, beat San Francisco in their house with nothing to play for. And, oh, we got lucky with no injuries. I mean, imagine that. If we would have got an injury, what would we have done? Exactly what we've been doing. Ripping off dubs still. Not caring. Next man up. Let's go. Play football. Out-scheme. Outthink. Outperform the other team. And win. Did I mention that earlier? I think I did. Because that's exactly what our Detroit Lions did. Except for those jabrones that I mentioned earlier that hate our team, worry about everything in life, think they're so smart when really they don't know anything about sports, and leave the decision making up to Dan freaking Campbell. Please leave the player evaluations up to Brad, always open for business, Holmes. Leave everything to do with NFL football up to the Detroit Lions because they're doing everything right and all they're doing is winning ball games. So everybody, that's what I got for the first half. I may hit you with the choppy segment right off the break here. Again, I know we got a lot of sponsors these days because the show's blowing up. The millions and millions are listening to the show. We appreciate all you.
And the people consist of the millions.
So please listen to sponsors. Fast forward through if you want to. If you go visit their websites, you go check out their products, you go do the thing. It really helps us out, as well as just you listen to the pod, sharing the pod. Hit me up on Twitter, doing the gimmicks, hyping up this team. We love all that. So everybody, please listen to our great sponsors when we come back. Choppy Chop, if he makes the cut, 2024, 2025, quick review, preview, hype, and what happened. And then Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions. Let's go. All right, everybody. This goes out to my fantasy football fans out there. Now, you probably heard about Reality Sports Online, the most powerful fantasy sports platform where owners can build and manage their fantasy team like a real NFL general manager. But the question is, have you tried it? I mean, we're talking free agency, multi-year contracts, rookie drafts, multi-team trades. You could put franchise tags on guys. It's as close as you're going to get to being an NFL GM. But do you think it sounds complicated? It's not. I'm here to tell you it's the best thing about Reality Sports Online is it's just more fun than your normal fantasy league, but it doesn't take barely any more time. After all this, are you still not sure? I mean, come on now. You can test your general manager skills by going over to Reality Sports Online, call it RSO. Please go check out realitysportsonline.com right now.
Yo, what up, Detroit Koolaid listeners? It's your boy, at Chops in the D. And hey, I wanted to jump on the show here, give Oakery some content, and give you a quick recap / reaction to the Lions' big dubski on Monday Night Football against the San Francisco 49ers. Before we dive into that, hey, just got to give a quick shout out. Go Blue. Woo! Always a great day when you get to beat the boys down in Bama. And way to go, Michigan Wolverines. I know this isn't a Michigan Wolverines pod, but you know we're huge Maize and Blue fans here. So great win today on New Year's Eve. Awesome to see. Hey, look, I was on the show a couple weeks ago, and I had to, you guys probably remember I had to pull Oakley out of the dumps. He was going all Eeyore mode. Oh, Choppy, the injuries, they're adding up, and I just don't know if this team is going to be able to beat teams with all these people hurt. And I had to come back on here, grab Oakley by the collar, yanking him up into the uprights, and start serving him some cornbread and Kool-Aid. Because I told you here, and I'm telling you now, and I told you then, and I told you 3 years ago, and I've been telling you all day that these Detroit Lions are different. These Detroit Lions, led by my boy Jared Goff and the hashtag Goff train. They're different. They're built different. Dan freaking Campbell has built a culture. He's got a winning mentality, and it doesn't matter if his crew from Applebee's are playing or the starters are playing or who's playing in the Honolulu Blue. This team is just going to outwork you. They're going to out-hustle you. They're going to out-grit you, and they're going to win. Okay? I don't even need to break down this game. You all watched it. It's Monday Night Football. The Lions are triumphant, 40-34. That's right, folks. We put up another 40 burger. This elite offense with Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra, Jared Goff, the Laporta supporter, Sam Porta, and your boy, hashtag JMO Fast, all over the field. Guys, this offense is clicking. It's elite. And it doesn't matter who we play. It doesn't matter how many injuries we have. You're going to have to try to stop this offense. And by the way, you're not going to. We're 14-2, 8-0 on the road. Zero road losses, people. None in the regular season. Okay? We play on Sunday Night Football against Minnesota for the division. And I think you all know how that is going to end. Your boy Chops is going to tell you it's going to end in a dubski. We're going to win the division. We're going to lock up the number one seed, 15-2. Get ready for it, people. And we're going to have a first round bye, and we're going to have that number one seed in the NFC. So I don't need to go into all the details of this game. I just am here to tell you that, man, these Detroit Lions are rolling. And I know the injuries on defense are mounting, but I think we got through this game injury-free. But here's the thing, guys. All we need from the defense is to just make a couple big stops, okay? Kirby Joseph, the curb stomper, the ball hawk, made 2 big interceptions this game. And really, that's all we needed. We needed to outpossess the 49ers by 1 possession. And that's what I said last week. When the chips are down, when the stakes are out, when everyone is needing a stop, is the defense going to be able to do it? Or when we are down to the last possession and Dan freaking Campbell looks at the offense and says, Jared Goff, I need you to just lead us down the field and get us into field goal range. Can Jake Bates hit that last minute field goal? Can Jared Goff throw that last minute touchdown? Can Amon-Ra? Actually, you know what? I already gave you that one. Maybe I need to go a little Amon-Ra. Is he going to be able to give you a big score? Is hashtag JMOFast going to be able to bust down the field for a late drive? The answer is yes. They are going to be able to do it, people. So stop doubting. Stop hating. Get on the Kool-Aid train, drink it in, serve the cornbread, get ready for Sunday Night Football against Minnesota, get ready to lock up this division because Dan freaking Gamble is ready to take this team to the Super Bowl. All right, folks, that's what I got. 5 minutes, quick take. Oh my gosh, I could keep talking, but your boy Oakley is going to give you some more stuff here. We'll see what he uses. We're going to catch you here in the playoffs. Maybe not even next week, folks, because we're probably going to have a first-round bye. Let's see how it goes. But you know we'll be here to serve up that cornbread and that Kool-Aid all playoff long. Woo! Hashtag Choppy Likey.
Kool-Aid drinkers, I'm back. You probably either just heard Chops, maybe you didn't hear Chops. I mean, it depends how my edit goes, depends how my timing is. I'm actually recording here on New Year's Eve before I get rolling with a million other things. Everybody has hopefully been enjoying their holidays. Of course, it's very busy for everybody, but I gotta come in here and talk Lions football. I gotta give you some gimmicks, some sound drops, some takes, some opinions, a couple rants, a couple just hype sessions about our team before we get to this big football game to end this show. So hopefully Chops didn't put you to sleep. This is Oakrey. I'm back. Appreciate you listening to the show. Shout out to everybody that did all my fantasy football leagues this year. Ton of fun. I cashed in a couple championships. I had a great seasons across the board in the regular season. I came up short in a few when it came playoff time, which I'm still upset about. But overall, great fun fantasy year across the board. I finally got it too, where I've got a lot of great members where they just know ball. They show up, they compete. No boola, no drama, no annoying complaining, no nothing. Just football, great friends, great people that I got to meet over the few years, both in fantasy, doing the pod, on Twitter, and I just absolutely love it. So appreciate that. And like, I'm not even going to rub it in that I just beat up at Chops in the D in the Detroit Koolaid Cast League to get third place. I mean, I'm not even going to get into it. I mean, again, I wanted first place, and if I would have got to the championship, I would have taken first, or if I would have even fallen short, I would have got second. But if you're not going to get first or second, when you play your co-host, the other guy who talks a whole bunch of noise about how great he is in fantasy, and you absolutely beat him by, like, what I win by 30, 40 points, something like that. I mean, I don't even want to mention it. I didn't want to get into it. I mean, I did what I do, which is put up an easy dub against Chops, and he'll come on with his excuse, oh, but what about this league? What about 10 years ago? Everybody saw it. Oakrey, greater than Chops in the Detroit Koolaid Cast League. Now, Frank Ribble and Trevor Trevor in the championship, what they scored like a total of, I mean, what was it? Like, did you guys even get to 100 points? I mean, I dropped like 165. I think Ribble barely got over the 100 mark. Maybe you got to 120 if you're lucky. I mean, I would have absolutely shellacked you had I made it to the playoffs, but I didn't. I mean, to the championship, but I didn't. But I didn't get to the championship. It was almost better because I got to absolutely whoop Chops, and he knows it. You guys know it. And that's exactly what it should have been. So you got that. But again, appreciate everybody. Let's get into this right now. So all I want to do is a real quick 2024, 2025. Last year was a magical year for the Lions. I all year got to say, how about those Lions? And that's where the voice started, and we got all these. So you guys know we've been doing this show for like 5 years, but last year was so fun. I mean, dub after late victory, after playoffs. I still say Lions versus Rams, Ford Field, first playoff game of my life. I've been having the season tickets. All I wanted was that home playoff game and win. It's against the former quarterback. It was incredible atmosphere, and to get that dub was just a top 5 sports moment of my life. So that was absolutely incredible. I mean, I know some of you are probably split on college football, but you know, on this show, it's all about those Wolverines. Go Blue. And last year, I got to see my Wolverines take home a national championship. I got to see them go undefeated. J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum, all the boys. I got to see them vanquish that team down south again.
Ohio State is vanquished.
Because they absolutely do this just in general.
Hey, listen, Ohio State sucks.
So last year, I got a Lions playoff run, a home victory against Matty Statty Patty. I got a Michigan undefeated magical run in the playoffs, national championship, beat Ohio State. That would have been 3 years in a row at that point because they absolutely suck and they're absolutely vanquished times 3. Then we roll into 2025. Dan freaking Campbell's talking about it just takes more. We're going to do more. Brad, always open for business. Holmes goes and gets football players. Terrion Arnold. Ennis the Menace Rakestraw, who we really haven't seen anything from, but I still think will be a grimy, nasty, good football player. puts together a draft class, brings in some nice free agents, has a hell of a team coming together, and we just start rolling in this season. We're just dub after, well, we lost second game where me and Chops were there, but after that, dub after easy dub, just rolling teams, right? So we have a calendar year from 2024 on January 1 of 2024. We beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl. Probably also makes my top 5 greatest sports moments of my life. And then we roll into this year. We're just winning games. Michigan, retooling, but still had a really fun season from top to bottom. And here we are at the end of 2024. The Lions are 14-2. They should have won their division in any other year weeks ago. We should have had 4+ weeks of just we won our division, we're the top seed, nobody's even within 2 to 3 games of us. It's been an absolutely crazy year to see 3 teams in our division might win 12+ games with 2 teams, regardless of what happens on Sunday night, having 14 dubs. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. There's some other divisions out there you could still win with 9 or 10 wins. That's 4 to 5 less wins in a 17-game year, and they're winning divisions, and we're fighting for our life. So that's absolutely crazy. I just think this is the best. Last year was kind of the best football year of my life because of the college success, the way the Lions showed up and just absolutely had that magical run to the NFC Championship. It ended on a real sour note, but everybody was so happy with what they saw. I don't think they were as crushed because you go back and look at what happened. I mean, it couldn't have been worse of how it went down at the end and to who and how and why. But absolutely magical carpet ride and got everybody hyped for this year, where it's we're going to come in and do it again. We're going to show up. We're going to ball out. We're going to win football games, and we're going to just repeat plus some of what we did. And that's exactly what they've done, which is real impressive because I probably came on here in the preseason and said, we might win 10 to 12 games. We might have a little bit of a dip. Sam Laporta might not be as good, but he's still a great football player. I might have said all this stuff because I did sort of think it's going to be hard to replicate. And they had not only replicated, they've duplicated. They've done better, which is absolutely off the charts. I mean, I feel like 2025 and into 2026 is going to be, I feel like Detroit and the state of Michigan is going to be the number one sports town in the country, undisputed. We're going to have a hockey team, a hoop team, and a football team. No, I'm not going to mention the sport we shall not speak of, but all our teams are going to be rolling. We're going to have college teams that are going to be balling. There's so many groups that are on the rise or already there. It's going to be so exciting. So I know everybody turns over the calendar. Oh, we're going to eat better. I'm going to work out more, and I'm going to save my money. I'm going to take care of my family. It's you can still do all that when you flip over the calendar, or say you're going to do all that and then do none of it, because that's usually what happens. But if you love sports and you love the show and you love our teams, get excited about what's to come, because 2025 into 2026 is going to be absolutely off the chain. There's still lots that can happen this year. It's going to be super exciting. Just a great time to be a sports fan in the state of Michigan, and especially a Detroit sports fan. So great years, great couple years, more to come in the future. Get excited about that. Let me spend the majority of my time on this Minnesota preview. And I'm not going to break it down. I'm not going to give you all the schematics or all the stats of who's going to win this game, what's going to happen. What I am going to tell you and how I'm going to get you hype is that if you have tickets to this game, if you're going to be in Detroit, if you love the Detroit Lions, this place is going to be absolute madhouse. Absolutely incredible. I don't even I'm not going to be there. You guys know I spread my tickets out to friends, family, and I'm so excited for the people that will be going to this game. When they bought the tickets or said we kind of do a draft for the games, they were like, we'll take that Minnesota game because what if What if at the end of the year, everything's on the line, it's at our house, it's against a division rival, it could be incredible, and that's exactly what has happened. I don't even need to be there because I've been there for the Monday night game in Chicago. I was at the playoff game where we beat the Rams, and that place is so electric, so loud, so incredible, and I know you guys are all going to show up and impact the game, be excited. My only thing to tell you is you have to bring it from pregame to the final whistle. I don't want to hear any like nervousness at the beginning. If something goes wrong for our team, I don't want to hear people sitting in their seats. That's the thing that makes me mad about my seats is like we got a decent section, a good section, but like it's third down. You people got to get up off your seat. When like I hate to stand up in front of people, but when it's a big play and when it's going down, you got to be loud, you got to be clapping, you got to be out of your seat. There's no sitting down late in the third, fourth quarter on a big play. It just can't happen. You gotta. I almost, the only reason I wish I was in the lower bowl, some of those sections, like you can stand the whole game, and that's what I feel like I would do. But in these sections, you got to sort of get up, get down, or whatever. But I need people to, if something goes wrong, no, on to the next play, just like Dan freaking Campbell would, just like our football team would, right? But in the middle, or especially when things are going good, need you to impact, be loud when the other team's on offense, so they can't hear, they can't communicate. I need you guys to just be absolutely rowdy, hyping up our team. That gives them juice, that gives them excitement. It's gonna, and it's at night. It's on Sunday Night Football. It's against. I can't believe the Vikings are 14-2. A good football team. Don't get me wrong. Like I still have questions about the overall toughness of Minnesota. I feel like they've been very well coached. They're actually like they play above what I would expect them to on paper. Let's put it that way. That's based on their coaching, their schematics, and just yes, they have a few players. Justin Jefferson at the top of that list that just wills plays. He just makes plays. He just finds a way to catch the football. He's unguardable, right? And they have Sam Darnold playing out of his mind. They have some guys on defense, whether it be Fabio Jr., Van Ginkel, and some of these guys that are just like doing some nice things. And you got Brian Flores over there who thinks he's Dr. Blitz and big alpha male, and you've seen what happened to him every time he tries to do that to us. We just slice and dice him up. So it's going to be a heavyweight matchup, don't get me wrong. I guess when I say that, it's because of the records and the atmosphere. I feel like we're the tougher team. I feel like we have more moxie, more alpha than they have across the board. Again, we can beat you up. We can outscore you. We can out-scheme you. We can outthink you. We can just, what's the Dan Campbell quote? We'll drag you into the deep waters and drown you. Like, we have that type of mentality that you can't put a stat on. You can't quantify it, but I damn sure know it's there because it shows up every single week, and I think that's actually going to be the determining part in this football game, to be honest. But like I said, shout out to the Minnesota Vikings. 14-2 is no joke. Quarterback has come out of nowhere. They've got the two big wide receivers. They've got T.J. Hawkinson. They've got some running backs, or if Aaron Jones actually shows up and doesn't get hurt like he does every week, he's been known to do some things. But I'm looking at the lines and I'm like, all right, I'd like to get Anzalone, a.k.a. Fabio, back because he runs the defense. It's another body in there. It's a really smart player. But if he can't, we'll find a way. Yeah, Jack Campbell's been kind of getting eaten up in coverage at times, but he's also lays the lumber. Young player, physical player, we can be fine at that position. I was shocked to hear that Demo, faux show, another skull, let's go, he might be back for this game. I mean, they said that came straight from Dan freaking Campbell. To me, that would be surprising if Demo played, but I mean, if he wants to, faux show. I mean, let's go. I feel like he can only help, even if he's limited, or he can get some short yardage, you can get some, physicality in there. Like, hey, if he thinks he can play, it's not going to hurt him anymore. Like, that would be a nice plus. If he's been a nice player coming back, he has not been iffy. He's been a plus player. He's showing up. He's physical. He can blitz, and that's been nice to have. I don't know what the word is on the Carlton, but I'm sure he's at home doing this.
It's not unusual to be
He's probably doing the Carlton dance because he can't eat food unless it's through a straw. But hell, man, when that jaw is halfway decent, wire it up, get him some applesauce and a helmet that can protect it, and let's get him back out there to cover people and make plays. So, yes, the Lions have major injuries, many of which don't have a chance to come back, but a few do, and we've already shown that we can overcome, so we're just going to play with who we got. And, like, when you look at it, you're kind of like, our best scenario is to outscore teams. Play aggressive, play innovative, and play smash mouth offensively. Put up points, even though Jack Fox is stud. Like, don't let him punt the football. Be aggressive on 3rd and 4th downs. Like, go get points and do our thing that way. The defense, it got shredded up a little bit against San Francisco. But what they do too is they play man and they blitz a lot, and they also, I can't remember many times where people are getting behind our defense for big scores. Yeah, there's some chunk plays. Yeah, I'm watching San Francisco. I'm like, why are people just running wide open? Like, we're running some weird zone where nobody's covering anybody and people are just wide open. I mean, that's not a good defense. I saw that defense by many Lions coaches for many years where we couldn't cover a coffee table. So I'm hoping that we can just play sticky man and blitz and actually get after the quarterback and rattle Darnold's cage. But speaking of rattle cages, that's what comes back again to the fans and the atmosphere. I feel like you guys are going to be able to party all day. You know what I mean? It's late in the NFL season. A lot of these games don't matter. Your fantasy teams are already done. Many of you probably didn't even make the playoffs, sorry to say, unlike myself, who was in the playoffs and championships throughout the year. But you don't have that to deal with. You don't care about any other game other than this game. So hopefully the weather's good. Show up early. Get the tailgate rolling. Get your excitement and get ready for war. Get ready for this football game. And you guys can rattle Minnesota's cage from day one if you like it. I don't do it at NFL games, but I was a Hall of Famer back in the day of getting to a Pistons game 3-4 hours early and just rattling the other team, talking trash, down in the front row, giving it to the best players on the other team. And what happened? Brought my Pistons a championship in 2004. Faux show. So I feel like if you got it in you, get in there early. Get after anybody that's in purple or white or whatever they're going to try to rock in this football game. We'll be wearing the throwbacks, the all silver helmet with the blue and the block letters and the classic look. Oh, it's so good. I can't wait. But fans, you just got to get after it. You know our boys are going to do their thing. You know they're going to have alpha mentality. Like I said, we go out, we outscore them, get a few stops on defense. Turnovers is always the key, whether it's ripping the ball out or protecting the ball when we're on offense, or Curbo, getting a couple more curb stomps, or my boy, Brian Branch, probably getting his hands on the football because every single game he pops off the film and absolutely does work. He's covering, he's hitting, he's blitzing, he's just all over the football field. So I'd expect him to have an impact on this football game. And Jahmyr Gibbs is just, what's he averaging? Like 120 yards all-purpose the last few games when he actually gets the rock. It's actually been nice to see Jahmyr Gibbs all the time rather than like randomly a quarter and a half goes by and you're like, is there a reason that the multi-dimensional positionless elite weapon isn't in the game? Like, what is happening? Why? I mean, we all love Demo. I mean, it's Demo, right? Everybody knows it's Demo. But can we get Jahmyr Gibbs in the game? So we've been able to get him in, doing his thing. Love the kid, making plays. Absolutely incredible. So to sum it up, I mean, I feel like outscore them, blitz them, let the crowd go crazy, light up the scoreboard, protect the football, and win this game. I don't care if it's by 1, 20. I don't care if we score 50 or if we score 10. I feel like you do anything it takes to win, and that's why I love the Lions in this game, because we will do anything it takes to win. And that means from our preparation to going a little bit longer, being a little bit smarter, a little bit sharper, working a little bit harder than the opponents, as Dan Campbell says. Dan Campbell doesn't give a crap.
And I don't give a crap
what the other team is doing. I mean, he'll tell you, I mean, all right, you hear me?
All right.
Exactly. You didn't give a crap.
And I don't give a crap.
He doesn't care what they do. He doesn't care how they prep. He's going to have an answer for everything, and if he doesn't, he's going to figure it out, and if end all be all, he is going to go for it. He is not going to play scared. It's not going to be too big. What he quoted recently, just like, this is just tremendous. This is everything you want. I mean, you leave it to these radio dweebs or these worrywarts, these people that always think the sky is falling and tomorrow it's going to rain out and what if and maybes and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just so nervous. That's not Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's like, what? We're playing in our house for the number 1 seed for the division title. Probably me versus that nerd on the other side of the line for Coach of the Year. You're telling me I don't have all my studs, but I got plenty of firepower. Like, let's go. Just bring it. He relishes these moments. He lives for these moments. He's not going to scared or he's not going to play nervous like Reverend Caldwell used to or take field goals when he knows he needs touchdowns. Like, this is going to be a tremendous moment, a tremendous day for Dan freaking Campbell, Brad always for Business Homes, the Golf Train, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra, our wide receiver that does everything for us.
Amon-Ra.
I mean, do it for Hutch up there, getting himself back so we can unleash him.
Unleash Hutch.
I mean, you got guys on defense like Jack Campbell. You've got our outside guys like TA. You got Kerbo. You got BB. You know, we've got edge rushers of Roscoe. You know, we're coming up with Josh Pascal. All our dogs. Khalif will be coming back. Hopefully, Anzalone does his thing. I mean, there's just so much to be excited about this game. Like I said, I'm not even upset that I'm not going to be there because I know all of you are going to be there. You're going to be drinking Detroit Koolaid, serving up a double, triple, quadruple side of cornbread. You are going to lose your voice at this game. You're going to remember it for the rest of your life. And we're going to come out victorious because the score I got for this game is 38-24. An absolute double touchdown, 14-point easy dub for the Lions. And that's nothing to take away. And yes, this game could come down to the buzzer, but I think we're going to overwhelm them from a crowd. Our offense is going to be too much. We're in the turnover groove now that Kerbo's back playing center field. We're going to strip the ball at least once in this football game. And we're just going to play solid, fundamental football. You're not going to hear me coming on here next week talking about what we didn't do or what we messed up or how we let it slip away. We're going to do all the little things, and Minnesota's going to be the one that's going to make the 1 or 2 critical mistakes. And like I said, this might be a tighter game, but I see us winning with ease. 10 to 14 point dub, I'm telling you, is what I see happening. So everybody It's probably about my normal time, but I feel like I went long because I've been talking and ranting and talking trash and smack talking and hyping up our team and reviewing and previewing, and Chops got in there somewhere. Maybe I don't know what he's up to these days, but shout out to Chops in the D and all the other great people that helped this show go, and all the listeners, the people, and everybody. That's what I got. Bring everything you got to Sunday Night Football, 8:20. Lions defending the den, welcoming the Vikings to the Lions' den with everything on the line. Everybody, that's what I got. I'll catch you next time right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. I'm out.
As God as the Rock's witness, the Rock says to all your candy asses, just bring it.
Oh my gosh! Just bring it, JR! He's coming on!
Pack the bag, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions. Drink it in, man.